welcome to this another tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make these. Hopefully there's a picture there somewhere. Tents. Let's get on with it. Okay, so what we need to do first of all is get ourselves a cereal box. I used Cocoa Pops, not that I'm advertising, and mark out a pattern, and it's 3 inches by 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches by 3 inches. I'm sure you can work out which way is which. Just doing the 3-inch section now, as you can see, and it's 3.5 inches long. So any sort of thin cardboard will do for this. I thought a cereal box would be ideal. The sections on the end are 3/4 of an inch each way. That's 3/4 of an inch there. Then I did 3/4 of an inch on both of the other sides respectively. Then I just drew the lines together. It doesn't have to be like so precise or anything like that. It's as long as it's pretty much in that kind of pattern. Then halfway along those 2 lines that I just drew, so just 1.5 inches, and just draw a line to meet those 2. That's going to represent the top of the tent. Okay. And then on the 3 inches either side, it's 3/4 of an inch in, and that's going to be the tip of the triangular shape that you see there. So just draw those in, then you just connect them up. Now I'm doing this in real time just to show you how I did it. Then also when they're done, once they've been connected up, you'll see that there's a little sort of inner flap as well on the top, well, the right hand side, bottom right hand side of the picture there. But you'll see, and I'm just that bit there. Okay, now 1/4 of an inch from the top and 1/4 of an inch from the bottom going up, and then just connect the line. Okay. Once that's done, we simply cut it out, and I'll speed it up a little bit. So just cut out. I did 4 altogether. I'm just showing you on these 2, but I will be showing you the 4 as they're all done and the finished product, as it were. I found I needed tents. Well, I need them for my Congo games actually, which is what's prompted me to do them, and it's kind of inspired me to do a bit more of the old terrain stuff. So here we are. Careful when you're cutting out that little flap there. Okay. Then obviously I'll just do the same on the other one. I don't know why I'm showing you cutting out 2, but probably because I just had them there to hand. It's a simple tutorial, but you've got to wait in between things drying. That's the only problem with them. Anyway, you end up with 2 or 4 or however many tents you're going to make. Patterns like this. Now what I do, because those are the fold lines essentially, so in order to make them fold nice and easy, this technique I'm using a ruler, and the other technique I'm doing freehand. You just want to lightly score along the lines on all the lines that you're going to be folding. So middle line and those 2 lines there, and of course the little inner flap as well. That's important, that flap, because it's what glues the back end together. So I thought some of you might prefer doing it with a ruler, a steel rule obviously recommended. Be careful not to cut all the way through. Just doing the little flap there. So that's 1. Now, for those of you who like to do it freehand, and this is actually my preferred method, you can do it freehand. If you've got a steady hand, just go along lightly with the knife. Like I say, it doesn't have to be uber precise or anything like that. Okay, then obviously begin folding them in. That's the bit you glue first, that inner flap, so that's important to do that one. Okay, so just fold them up. I did actually look on eBay for these, but they're too expensive, so I decided, what the heck, I'll make my own. Right, PVA glue on that inner flap and just hold it there until it sticks, which it should do quite easily. And obviously do the same with the other one. Okay, there you are. They're already looking like tents shape-wise. I'm just pulling that opening back, that front flap of the tent, as it were, and that's going to represent like where the person, whoever it is, the tent belongs to, where they go in and out. They pull the sheet back and go in. So obviously, however many tents you decide to make, I'd recommend doing them in a production line. These bases I just cut out of some. It was actually in my printer box, thick cardboard, and you don't. You can do it with MDF, obviously, but you don't need to. Now this is PVA and water mixture, about 50-50 of water to PVA glue. And I've just got my blue towel that I used to wipe off my brushes. It doesn't have to be blue, it just happens that I have blue at the time. So just dip it in the glue and then start wrapping it around the cardboard tent cutout, like so. Okay. And then I do it again, so a second layer on each tent. I put 2 on. You could do 3, I think, but no more than that, and certainly more than 1. So 2, I think, is the best. I haven't tried that, but that's just the feeling I got as I did it. So you definitely want to do more than 1. Just put 2 on each one. Gets a little messy, but it's easy to clean up with PVA. So make sure it's tucked all in nicely there. Okay. And just simply, obviously, wiping my hands off there. Alright. Grab your base or whatever you're going to use as your base. Slap some PVA on there. I've got tons of the stuff, so I'm not worried about scrimping with it at all. So just whack it on there, however you want to do it. PVA glue will glue it just fine to that. Okay, and then just pop your tent onto said base. And it's the waiting for, and do that with all your tents obviously, it is the waiting for it to dry. That is the time factor. I believe I waited 2 days for that to dry before I went on there. As you can see there, look, I've got 4 tents ready to go. And although they don't look it, they are actually dry. I put PVA around the tops of the bases to harden. I cover them once they're on there. Cover the whole thing in watered down PVA or even PVA. That's as the bases are dried too. The whole thing is dry there, and they're already feeling quite solid. They do not feel like cardboard and paper anymore. So they're feeling quite sturdy, which is good. This is exactly what you want. Okay. Now this one, I dropped it there. This one, as you can see, has got a torn outer layer. Now you can just cover this up with a little patch. You can, if you want to, even make it a feature. I decided not to in the end. I was going to, and I might yet still do that with other tents I make, because I'm going to make more, because I've decided they're so easy to make. Just grab your little patches, if it should tear anywhere. Grab your PVA mixture. I recommend using a pair of tweezers because of the tissue is so small. Dip it in and apply it to the area in question. Like I say, what you could do is then when you come to paint them, you could paint that patch differently, and you could apply like black stitching all around it to make it look more worn, if that's the look you're going for. You can always go for that. Like I say, that was my initial plan, but as it blended in so well, I decided against it in the end. I just wanted to get 4 tents done. And like I say, although it's time consuming for waiting for each stage to dry, it is easy. This is easy to do. You just got to be patient and have an area where you can leave them to dry off. So that's that one. So you could paint it a different colour to when you come to paint the canvas. You could just paint the patches a different colour. Alright, now we're coming on to the priming of the tents. And I'm using a grey primer just because I happen to have it to hand. You don't have to use grey primer, but I did just because it was there. I wanted a fairly light primer. I didn't want to put black on it. I mean, I could have done. You could do black very easily, but I just had a lot of grey, so I decided to use grey. And once they are dry, I went in with khaki by Vallejo. I decided that was the colour I was going to use for my tent canvas, but you can really use any colour you want to. Browns, greys, anything really. Blues, greens. You do camouflage effect. That's probably something I will have a go at later on. And just for the heck of it, really. Make whatever patterns you want to. And there we go. All 4 done. I used, I coated them once and then I just went over with another coat quickly just to, in any areas that were kind of patchy. But I think one thin coat or one thick coat will be enough. Right, Aphonium Camo Shade by Citadel is the shade wash I used, primarily because it's I don't know, it's kind of a green brown shade wash. I wanted it to be a little bit greeny as well, not just the brown of like your Agrax Earth shade. So I just put that on, and you can see it really brings out the folds of what would be the canvas of the tent, and I think that looks quite effective. So once that's dry, all that remains is to sort out the edges of the bases and then base them. So all I did was use a simple filler to go around the edges of the cardboard bases to fill in the gaps. Then I flocked them and put a bit of gravel on some of them, and there you go. I'll do a video or a tutorial on flocking and putting basing materials on your bases in another video. But this is the finished result. I think they look quite good. I'm very pleased with the results, and I think you should, if you fancy having a go at making some tents or you need some, give it a go. It's really, really easy and very enjoyable to do. And you can do them because they're so easy and cheap to make. You can literally you make them for any occasion: snow ones, camouflage ones, anything. So yes, thank you for joining me on this tutorial, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Bye for now, guys.